There are hundreds of characters in Marvel Strike Force. It can be difficult to decide where to begin. What character should I choose? Should I take my beloved Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man? Which one of these characters would make a solid foundation to build my first team? Interestingly enough, the answer to that question is good old Frank Castle himself, the Punisher. Now, why do we say that? The answer to that question is easy. It's accessibility. He's one of the characters that the game gives you very early on in your progress. However, there are other characters that the game gives you early too, so what's so special about the Punisher? Well, did you notice there the difference in the amount of damage that the Punisher was able to do as opposed to the amount that Spider-Man was able to do? There's a very important reason for that. Let's explain. Marvel Strike Force does a good job at giving you a good introductory character who is also going to be part of a good introductory team. If we notice the green text that's moving there on the right hand side, that's the player's tags. And one of those tags has to do with this character's team, Vigilante. If we click on that, that brings up the Vigilante team. There are 5 characters. Most of the time in Marvel Strike Force, teams are made up of 5 characters. Sometimes this varies, but most of the time this is the case. Now, when these teams come out, a new team comes out every month, and traditionally the way it's done is there are new characters that are introduced to the game. When the Vigilante team came out, Hitmonkey was a brand new character that was introduced to Marvel Strike Force. The newest teams are typically the biggest and the strongest. They have the best stats. They're able to do the most things. At the same time, to keep the older characters fresh, they reach back and rework some of the older characters, bringing them up to the new team. They give them new stats and new abilities, and the Punisher is a member of that team where that happened. The Punisher was reworked, so he was given new stats, new abilities. And so because of that, the Punisher character that you get in your hands right now is very different from 8 years ago when the game began. This version of the Punisher has much higher stats. He has much higher stopping power. He has brand new abilities. This is something that you're going to be able to use to chew through the early game and get through the content. In addition to that, just by playing the game, they're actually going to give you the rest of the members of that team. If you look at your daily objectives here, click on that button and it brings you to this screen here. And notice on the right hand side, it says Strike Pass 1. This is the introductory Strike Pass. It's a battle pass. You get to progress through it just by playing the game. And note, as we look at what's going on here, these characters that the game is going to give you are the rest of the members of that Vigilante team. You have about 2 weeks to work your way through this content, and by the end, you're going to have the completed Vigilante team right out of the gate. This is an excellent way to give new players a team that they can use in multiple game modes. And that's not all. There is a login calendar that rewards you for logging in every day. This is just a normal part of the game. And if you'll notice, the 3 characters that are there are members of the Vigilante team. The game is going to give you 100 shards of each of these characters just by logging in through the month of March. The calendar is even retro dated, right? It says the first month's calendar has a 30-day grace period. So again, if you're not able to get all the shards in that battle pass, they're still going to give them to you here because they want to make sure that you're able to get that first team up and running. Doubling down on that, they want to try to get you into the newest teams that are coming out. So they have this new recruits calendar. So this is here again for new players. And some of the characters here, we have that same positive spin. We have Deadpool. He's on a brand new team. He has brand new stats. He's a good character that you can feel good about investing in. The newest team that's coming out is called the Daring Warriors, and they're going to be using Jessica Jones and the Daredevil. So again, you have 2 characters that have the most updated stats, the most updated abilities, and they're going to give them to you right here early on just for logging into the game. As you make your way through the first part of the campaign, you're going to be working on those hero assemble missions that we see there on the left-hand side. You're going to want to use that Vigilante team as you power them up. Most of them are heroes. They're going to work very well. But as you can see in my top row there, starting with Hitmonkey, Sunspot, Deadpool, and Punisher, those are 4 heroes that the game is going to give you as you simply work your way through the tutorial. Sunspot is recently added to the New Mutants team. It's a very strong team, and again, just by playing through the tutorial, they're going to give you this character. Feel free to initially level these characters up. They're going to be the strongest you can get your hands on. They're going to help you, again, punch through that early content while you're trying to fill out the rest of your vigilante team. This takes care of the hero characters, but we have other characters that we need to deal with as well. The second campaign to unlock relatively quickly is the Villains United campaign. There, you can use only villain characters. Many times in the comic books, it takes entire teams of heroes to beat one villain. Because of that, the supply of villains that we have is much less. So we have to pick and choose which ones we're going to use to help us get through that content. If you notice, most of what I have here are Spider-Man villains. This is the Sinister Six in one way, shape, or another. And two of those members, Shocker and Vulture, recently got their stats adjusted and updated to work with a brand new Insidious Six team. Those would be the two villains that I would definitely concentrate on as you're working your way through this part of the game. When you're still new, you have these special milestones that might pop up in the game. For example, we see their first strike. Just by playing the game, you're going to be working your way through these first strike milestones. I want to bring your attention to something that we've already completed. Down here at the bottom, we have Shocker. So the Shocker is a character that the game is going to give you for free. And you see that little 4 next to his name? This is a token. So again, we got this very early in the game. And when we unlocked it, it gave us the character Shocker at level 4 already built. So I didn't have to put any resources into them. We just had to build them up from there. As you progress, there will be other characters that they will give you these tokens for. For example, here we have Peter B. Parker. Notice the wording there on the right hand side, the green text under upgrade. If my account was at the appropriate level, when I get this token, I would unlock this character at level 25. They would give me a 3-star version of the character. They would give me gear tier level 5. So again, these are things I would not have to invest in. Now, when this happens, I do not recommend necessarily using this character. You might use him for something else, but right now, this character is not helpful in the meta. As we continue through some of these strikes that come out, there's a first, second, and third strike. We'll keep an eye out for characters that you should be using, and we'll try to clue you in when that is appropriate. But we just wanted to highlight what this thing actually does. Obviously, when you unlock the character, take advantage of them, use them. I just wouldn't build them up further unless you're simply a fan of the character and want to do so. However, there is a word of caution. You're getting a lot of resources in this game to kind of try things out, mix and match, see what you like. But as you progress, that will dwindle and you'll only be able to sustain a growth of a certain amount of characters each month. A new team comes out each month and you'll kind of be focusing on trying to get the resources necessary to build that team. So it's important to learn that you need to guard your resources. What would we use our resources for? Well, at the top up there, you see that there's that purple icon. Those are the power cores. Power cores are the premium currency in this game, something you can spend for money. And early in the tutorial, it shows you unlocking a character by using power cores. Right now, that isn't something we want to do. We might start to lean back into that as we get into the late game. But right now, you have a much more important purpose to use your power cores for. On the right side of that, we see that yellow lightning bolt. That is the campaign energy symbol. What you're going to want to use as power cores for, you're going to click on that campaign energy symbol. And we're just talking about the yellow campaign energy. You might see different colors for different events. We're only talking about this yellow. Don't do this for other campaign energy. What you're going to want to do is click on that symbol and you see I can refresh my energy for 50 power cores. So we're going to do that. We're going to click that and you see our overall energy consumption at the top went up. We got some points for the first strike milestone. So this is just teaching us this is intentional on how you're supposed to play. This is how they intended us to play the game. So we're going to keep doing that and keep using up 50 power cores at a time, increasing our campaign energy until we get to the point where it says 100. We're going to stop there. So that's basically 4 refreshes. And this is something you want to do every day. Every day you spend those 50 power cores. You stop when it gets to the 100. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're building up our campaign energy. Early in the game, this is the most important thing you can do because campaign energy, using that gives you experience points. So as you see on the left there, at present, this account is level 32. I have that blue bar there. And as you no doubt have seen as you've been progressing your way through, as you move and do things in the game, you gain experience points. So we're going to spend that campaign energy, and of course, we're able to level up. So that's our goal as we continue to move toward the end game. We started out at level 1. The maximum level at this time is 110. So until we reach that level of 110, that's what we want to use our power cores for, is simply moving our experience points forward, using campaign energy to do that. We're going to use those power cores to give us new campaign energy. And that's basically what we want to be doing on a daily basis. Now, some of the other resources you get are gold. We see we got more power cores, we got more energy, but this symbol right here, shop credits. Shop credits is another resource that we're getting a lot of right now, but there's not a necessarily reliable, steady way of getting this. So we want to be careful of it. We don't want to use it unnecessarily. What should we use it for? We're going to use Vulture here to help us simulate some reasons, some things that we should be using that shop credit currency for. If you notice, we have those yellow pluses. Again, that's where you put your gear in when you're powering the character up. But notice there in the upper left quadrant, I don't have a green plus sign. It says find. So that's what I want to do. I want to click that piece. I want to find it. Now, again, it's not going to let me equip it. It says I'm not strong enough, but for educational purposes, we're going to pretend that we need that piece, because there's going to be times when you don't have that piece, especially that piece that would be right there in the 9 o'clock position. That is the unique piece. It is the most difficult to find of all your gear pieces. And sometimes, right, you need more of them to progress your character, to get him to level up, to put more gear on him. So again, when that happens, we're just going to put find. We'll go to this button here, and it shows us the places where we can find it. We might can get it out of an appropriate colored orb. If it's a raid orb, you can go ahead and use those. They don't use your shop credits. If there are other type of orbs, they use your shop credits. So you want to steer clear of that. In addition, it says here, it's available in the supplies section, right? So if we click on that, then it's going to take us to the supply store. So in the supply store, you see at the top, it says gear. I'm on a similar purple tab, same symbol. This is the gear tab of the supply store. And there is the piece that we need, those improved focus catalysts. I can buy them for 450 shop credits. So every piece of gear in the game that's not in the newest gear tier is available here in one of these stores. The medium, as we're in the middle, high or low, it's in one of these stores. So we want to save our shop credits for when we run into those problems where we can't get that gear, and we want to buy that piece to make sure we're able to fill it in. And then hopefully it pops up, right? Again, I'm not strong enough to use it. That's why it's orange, but now I do have the piece. And when it's ready, I can power this character up and take him to the next gear tier. We'll come back over to Deadpool here to illustrate the second and also very important use of our shop credits. As you see on the right hand side, my Deadpool is 2 stars. It says that I have 16 of 55 shards for that character. When I get him up to 55, he's going to go up a star level. Right? Star levels give us more power and make our characters stronger. So how can I do this? Well, on a character like Deadpool, or any character we have that's an older character, we can hit that find button. We have the same thing happen. It takes us to the supply store. We click on that, and there's Deadpool. I can use 2,000 shop credits to get 10 Deadpool shards. I can do that every time the store resets. We're going to look at the Vigilante team as a whole to demonstrate why this is important. So as we saw, they're going to give us shards for these newer characters. For example, we saw they're going to be giving us shards for Hitmonkey, Silver Sable, and Daredevil Modern. These represent the newer characters on the team. And again, this is just teaching us how to play the game. We'd be playing the game, doing what's necessary, and we would be unlocking these newer characters. However, the older characters of those teams that were reworked, just like the Punisher, to make sure that we're able to build these characters, we need to utilize that store. So that's what we would want to do. We're going to do the same thing. Hit that find button. We're going to go to the store. It shakes us where he's at. It's going to cost us 2,000 shop credits, and we're going to go ahead and buy those and increase the amount of shards we have. As you can see, we're 17 of 80. We got a long way to go. So we don't want to waste those shop credits just buying everything. We only want to use them for the gear and the characters primarily that we're going to need to build up. So as we're doing this, we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of our daily objectives. We want to make sure that we're checking those off. So you see the ones here in orange we've already done. So we're just going to claim those there. And then there's other ones that we still have yet to do. If we have the ability to do that, we want to. Why? Because it gives us rewards. It helps move us that strike pass forward to help us get that free stuff. There are some other game modes here that we might not be able to pay attention to, or we might not be able to interact with fully. For example, you notice here that we've unlocked Arena. You're simply just going to use the strongest team you have available to participate in that. In Blitz, you select 5 characters from your roster to work your way through a grouping of milestones. And then there's Alliance Raids. Raids are the most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force. This is how you get the gear to put on your characters. I'm not really able to participate in raids at this time. And as you see, there are a lot of other game modes here that are still locked. We're going to go ahead and follow up on how to participate in some of these other game modes, specifically raids, Blitz, and War in the next video. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. We're going to teach you how to progress as a new player starting out in Marvel Strike Force. The best way to do that is to play with like-minded players, so you can join us here in my alliance. Again, these are just all variations of my accounts. I play a new account every year, so I understand how to build from level 1 up to the end game. We just, again, are opening this account. We're starting over. It's called Motivation No Cap. You could hit that Switch Alliance tab if you want. Search for it. We'll have it open. You can join us. Better way to do it is to find me in the Discord. It's in my description. So we have a Discord to my personal one, Gideon's Gate. We can talk there. We can talk strategy, things like that nature. There's also one for the No Cap Discord recruit server. You can come there, apply. We'll get you in that way as well.